Shamaya, you did it.
STL Music.
Welcome back to the show. Yo, listen up, we back in the game. Sweep the league, we got the flame. Motivated to the fullest every single day. We wake up, get it in every way. Right from the 222 on the global inspiration. Talk this sports and top news, no hesitation. Sweep the league is back. We always coming back, that's a fact. Wanna tell them that STL Music, mama, we did it, where we at? Coach Jill in the house with the flow so tight. Derrick and Rudy, rock stats, we unite. Yeah, the best show, Monday through Friday. If this ain't different, they lying. We got the energy. When I say sweep, you say the league. Sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. San Antonio.
You are watching Sweep the League TV. Shout out to Rudy, Coach Gio, and Derrick Irvin. Keep going, guys.
Shout out to SOTV and STL Music. I love the music, and hell yes, they paid me to say it. Commercials are not free, honey. Did you share our YouTube yet? Why not? Go watch Sweep the League TV right now and support my guys. Rudy, Coach Gio, Derrick, and crew only talk sports and have fun. They don't have any bad vibes, just amazing fans. We love everyone.
Hey, it's Rain Fernandez, and you're watching Sweep the League. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and Facebook at Rain Fernandez, Rayne Fernandez.
Hi, it's Sherilyn, and you're watching Sweep the League TV. Follow me on Instagram at official Sherilyn for more content.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweep the League Radio.
Howdy, folks. Welcome back to Sweep the League. It's the afternoon delight edition here on Wednesday. This rebroadcast, well, it's going to be rebroadcasted tonight at 9 o'clock. So if you don't catch it now, you want to catch it tonight, the same show is going to be rebroadcasted tonight. It's going to be myself. It's going to be Hall of Famer Derrick Irvin. We're going to get into some NFL quarterback rankings. Hey, the season starts tomorrow. So we have a special announcement about tomorrow that we're going to make here in just a little bit. Because the NFL season starts, we've got something special that we are doing. Also, some WNBA. Hey, the playoffs are right around the corner. We're going to get it with Derrick Irvin on that as well. Is it a tough path for the Aces to get back to the WNBA finals? If everything stays the way that it does, then yes, it's a very, very tough path. It'd be hard for them to actually get back to the WNBA finals. We're going to talk to Derrick about that. Also, we're going to talk, maybe give a little bit of a teaser when it comes to NFL talk. The season starts tomorrow, so give a little bit of teaser on that. Not only that, players leaving the league, the NBA, going overseas. Maybe a trend. We're going to ask Derrick about that, plus a couple other things as well. Maybe a couple of bit of Spurs news and notes here as we start Sweep the League. Again, this is brought to you by MCS General Contracting, Special Leaf Tea, Castro & Sons Solar, and La Cocina Taco Truck as well. Shout out to Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia. I should be coming on later on this week. Let's bring in the man, the myth, the legend himself, the Hall of Famer. And no, not Coach Gio, because he's lost at sea somewhere, kind of like a Gilligan's Island type thing. Let's bring in Hall of Famer Derrick Irvin. How you doing, Derrick?
Doing fine. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good. I'm taking my my lunch break right here to talk sports with everybody. So yeah, definitely this is a day thing for us. So I appreciate you coming on, man. It's been a while since you've been on, but I'm glad you're back on. But we got a whole week to finish out here before NFL weekend, college football weekend. Everything just kicks off, man.
It's been a busy season already, and then you're going to have people talking about the NBA as well. But it's been great. Tennis is going on.
The
Yeah.
U.S. Open has been spectacular so far as they get down to the semis. So that's been nice. There's been a lot going on, man. If you look at it now with the WNBA heading down to the final 7 or 8 games, that's going to be interesting, because the ladies are all about seeding. And it's
Yeah.
not the same as the NBA where they go at the conferences. So everybody's fighting, jockeying for position, I'll say. So that's going to be interesting down the stretch because there's certain matchups teams try to avoid if they can. Not saying they're afraid, but there are times sometimes you don't want to meet a certain team in the first round. So all of
Yeah.
those games are going to be interesting down the stretch.
Yeah, 100%, man. Because I mean, one of the teams that I mentioned was the Las Vegas Aces, and getting back to the WNBA Finals, they are currently the fourth team in the standings, and they're about 3 games out of third. Which again, it's not impossible probably for them to catch Minnesota, but it's going to be very difficult. They are only a game up on the Seattle Storm, so as if it ended right now, they'd have to play Seattle in the first round, and then they'd have to either play a Phoenix Mercury team or a New York Liberty team. That is not an easy path for Las Vegas, as we can tell right now.
Well, it's so important for seeding in the WNBA, Rudy, because when they play the first round, it's only 3 games.
Yeah,
And the first 2 games are on the team with the best records on court.
yeah.
And so game 3 is not until a lot of times you could get behind the 8 ball because you're playing on the other team's home at their home for 2 games. And you lose 2 games, you're out of it. So that's how important seeding is. You don't want to be that team that has to play 2 games on the road and then hope that you get to go home for game 3.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about the WNBA. Also, a quick NBA Spurs note that came out today. Also, some NBA players going overseas. Is that going to possibly be a trend? Plus, the quarterback rankings that came out from NFL Quarterback Index. We're going to get into that as well. So we got a lot to talk about. We're going to try to get it in under an hour here because it's an afternoon type of show. But real quick, so let's go ahead and make the announcement. We don't have a whole lot of people on the stream. We'll make the announcement again at the end of the day. Again, it's during the day. Our biggest audience is at night. But tomorrow we are going live at 9 o'clock p.m. That show is still happening. Your regular Sweep the League programming is still going on tomorrow at 9 p.m. as well as Friday 9 p.m. But because football starts tomorrow, we're going to have our NFL preview show. It's going to be myself. It's going to be Derrick. We'll see if anybody else joins us tomorrow for it during the day. But yes, we will be going live during the day tomorrow at 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock a.m., you're going to be seeing myself and Derrick. We're going to be breaking down the NFL, give you our predictions, possibly MVP predictions, who we feel will be in the Super Bowl. We're just going to give you as much information as we can. That's going to be happening tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning. We will do our NFL preview show, and then we will be back live at 9 o'clock because, NFL football will have already been started. But we'll do our regular Sweep the League program as well. So you're getting us twice tomorrow, which is pretty fantastic for a lot of you people out there. And Derrick's going to be working overtime, so I got to pay him overtime on the double show for tomorrow type stuff. So
Let's go. Bring it on.
So firstly, we're going to talk about, let's go ahead and do some NBA, the quick NBA news. We'll go ahead and break that here in just a second. All right, so news out of San Antonio Spurs camp is that obviously Keldon Johnson is going to number 0 on the jersey. Chris Paul ended up getting number 3 for trying to keep his CP3. I had a little rant about that. It shouldn't be forced. Now, was Keldon forced? I don't know. Nothing's going to come out as to what Chris Paul gave him or if he was forced to give up his jersey number. I have no idea. I don't know the details, but knowing that CP3 keeps his jersey number at 3, Keldon goes to number 0. I don't really see a whole lot of people making a big deal about it other than the fact that people are complaining about who leaked it first and who did this first and all this first. So jersey number, Derrick, I mean, not a huge thing when it comes to jerseys as far as, players go like that.
I don't know because sometimes you can feel like you're always that guy that's on the end of the negative side, I'll say. As you know, Keldon lost his starting spot last season.
Yeah.
And now if he was forced to give up his jersey, which I don't believe, But if he was forced to give it up, I don't think that would be a good thing for the Spurs. I don't think Pop is that kind of guy where you talk to him and it's basically I don't even think Pop had anything really to do with it. I just think Chris and Keldon probably talked, and whatever happened, maybe Chris paid for the jersey. Maybe
Yeah.
Keldon had him slap him a quick fix. But I don't think
Yeah, we're having some technical difficulties right now. Derek, you may want to plug in and plug back out on the. It sounds like something might be coming in from your side. We'll definitely get Derek back on, get his information as far as that goes. But while Derek's taking care of that, the only thing that let me see if it works now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me better?
Delayed, but you're good. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Oh. Well, I mean, you give up the jersey, so what? It gives Keldon a chance to shine in a new jersey now and try to help the Spurs get near the playoffs or maybe even a play-in spot. So he's going in with a positive attitude, I believe. And at the end of the day, man, it's just a jersey.
Yeah, it's just a jersey, man. If it's forced, then that brings a whole big picture or a whole can of worms open because then you have all those rumors, Derek, about, well, Keldon might be gone at the trade deadline. He's not going to be a Spur very much long, this and that. May have soured the relationship between San Antonio and Keldon. We don't know, man. For right now, we're kind of taking that same road that you and I have been talking about. It's just a jersey number. I was upset about it because I don't think you force a player to give up a jersey. But, if you ask nicely, and obviously you kind of get a little bit of, not money, but, some monetary.
Maybe.
I mean, hell,
hey,
maybe
Rudy, a Rolex or something.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. That's how they do it. Hey.
Keldon might be driving a new Ferrari or something thanks to CP3.
Something
and
like that. Good. Hey.
Who knows? I mean, who knows? Maybe CP3 basically is giving Keldon some, 15 years worth of car insurance through State Farm. I have no idea. It could be anything when it comes
Chris
to CP3.
can afford it. Chris can afford it. Hey, there's certain guys in the league. There's a lot of guys making the big money, but the guys that have been there the longest, like a KD, Chris Paul, LeBron, Steph. Those guys are on their way to not being what we call rich. They're on their way to being wealthy.
Yeah.
And so it's certain guys that could afford that, and Chris happens to be in that group.
That is true. That is true, man. Very, very true. So Tim asked what happened. I think it was just a bad connection with Derek, but we get it all squared away, man. Don't worry about it, Tim. And then Louis, hey, shout out to Lacus in the taco truck. Louis Luna's in here. Bear down. Yeah. We're going to talk NFL, Louis. So if you didn't catch it, tomorrow we've got another show. We're going to go twice tomorrow. We got our regular show at 9 p.m., but also tomorrow, because the NFL football season starts tomorrow, we're going to do a 10 o'clock in the morning show. We're going to break down the NFL for you guys. We're going to give our predictions and everything. So be sure to tune in for that. Your Chicago Bears. All right, where are they going to finish in the NFC North? That's going to be the key. We're going to talk about all that tomorrow, Louis. So appreciate you joining us. And it is Hall of Famer Derrick Irvin, Rudy Campos Jr. One more quick NBA note that we want to get into before we transition into another topic here is lately we've seen players go from the league to overseas. And as a player that has done that before, Derek, you've gone from the NBA to overseas. It wasn't a really big deal because you saw stars, Stephon Marbury, you've seen other guys go overseas and their career is just revitalized. And Dwight Howard's another one, it just gets revitalized and they just love it over there. But for whatever reason, this off season, it seems like the trend was a little bit more than usual. Is it something to worry about? Is it something that the league is not doing right or is it that some of these players just don't like the transition of the league itself and just want to go play ball somewhere else?
No, I think it's some of these guys that we're talking about. I can name Patrick Beverly first. Mm-hmm. Then you got Evan Fournier. And now it looks like you're going to have Davis Bertans, who we know is a magnificent three-point shooter. And then it sounds like Seti Osman, who, of course, was with the Spurs this past season. So it's guys that maybe out that don't think they're getting the opportunity that they deserve, and they're not making the big bucks. I'll say for as far as NBA standards, they're making money that's a lifetime changing. Some of these guys making 2 or 3 million, and so if you really think about it, if you're making 3.5 million and then you take out taxes, some of these guys are finding it better economically wise as far as going overseas and making that $2 million or whatever it may be, 2.5 million, because the money is tax free. You don't have to worry about taxes over there as far as the players. So that could factor in. They're going for the financial security, and I can understand that. And you get to have fun. You get bonuses, like some of those guys will have bonuses, I'm sure, if they were to make the European Cup, things like that. And the fans are just amazing over there, man. They can be really tough. But it's the excitement. They worship you, man, basically. And I mean, it's great basketball. So I can understand some of those guys wanting to have an opportunity to play more.
And they get paid some good money. I mean, like Tim mentioned, they do get some pretty good money for going overseas. And I mean, money's money, man, especially when you're making it, whether it's overseas or in the States. But I do see the trend maybe going a little bit that way. It's kind of crazy because there's a lot of times where teams would draft and stash players, and now you have the G League, so it makes sense to bring them over, stuff like that. But a lot of these guys, I mean, Davis Bertans, he fits in the league. He's a shooter. I mean, the NBA is all about shooting, and it bothers me to know that Cedi Osman is a hell of a veteran. I mean, one that would benefit on a championship team.
I'm not looking at it as a negative at all. At all. You know why? Because, like I said about guys playing more, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's also style of play, and you mentioned that a little while ago. Some of these guys want to play the way the game was meant to be played, the fundamentals, the more team-oriented basketball overseas.
Yeah.
And you saw it in the Olympics, the way that they play. Everybody gets a piece of the pie. And that doesn't always happen in the NBA. You got your pecking order. Over there, you got your pecking order, but it's a different type of pecking order. It's all about who's going to be the guy that's going to lead the entire group to becoming a better team, better organization. And that's somewhat the difference that it is the NBA, the up and down game where the floor is more spread. Over there, the court is not as big, remember?
Yeah.
So it's a little different. It's not as wide. The 50 is more like 49 feet. And then, the floor is a little shorter. It's like 92.5 feet as opposed to 94 feet. So it's a different game. It's a lot more congested. But this is what these guys are used to. And it does take a lot of fundamentals over there to succeed.
Yeah, 100%. We have 644 people live in the stream right now. Appreciate everybody joining us for the afternoon delight of Sweep the League. If you don't catch it now, catch it at 9 p.m. We're going to rebroadcast the show for you guys tonight at 9 p.m. Also, a reminder tomorrow, we're doing double duty tomorrow. We've got a 10 o'clock show in the morning of our NFL preview show since the NFL starts tomorrow. Plus, we're doing our 9 o'clock show as well. So we've got a lot coming to you here at Sweep the League. Derrick, new players don't make it in the NBA. They go overseas to make money. That is true. Locked On Spurs Zone, Jeff Garcia. Rudy, have Euro players taken over the NBA versus American-born players? That's an easy answer. That would be yes. I mean, let's not just say Euro players, international players have taken over the NBA. Just look at it. I mean, the All-NBA first team this year, we mentioned it before, 4 out of the 5 are international players. I mean, it was Doncic, SGA, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, I believe, was the 4 out of the 5.
And Jokic.
Oh, Jokic. I'm sorry, Jokic as well. So, I mean, you got 5, probably the top 5 players in the league, possibly, that are all international players. So I would say easily the international player has taken over the NBA, and there's no doubt about it in my mind.
Rudy, I won't say taking over because you still got guys. If you look at how LeBron played in the Olympics, he still looked like he has some energy there, some legs under him. And AD played well. And then you still got guys like Steph Curry that of course, you could never count out. Mm-hmm. So if Golden State were to be able to make some of these guys that I say not so popular guys, big names and all that, they ever to blend them in this year. And you got Poshimski and all these guys, Moody coming back, and Kuminga. if they can get a little more, I'll say, effort, a different style of play, maybe. The Golden State could be a dangerous team. And the Lakers, you can never count those guys out. So I won't say they've completely taken over. And then we still got Tatum and these guys, Ja Morant coming back. So we got to see what happens with guys like Ja when they're healthy before we can fully say they're taking over. They are taking over as far as winning MVP. But I don't want to say they're taking over completely because the team that just won the championship didn't have the foreigners on it other than Porzingis, and he was in and out of the lineup.
Yeah, no, I say, you know, for me, it's not, I mean, I say takeover. I do feel like the international players are more, I don't know if takeover is the word, but they're more dominating than the American players right now. I mean, easily the top 5 players in the league are all international. So the dominance is there more than the taking over. I mean, we're not going to see Alex Sarr and Reece Shea are coming into the league to take it over. I mean, these guys are going to be scratching for, you know, minutes and everything because, again, I don't see it. But, you know, you've got the top players in the league right now that are definitely more dominating. How many more years do you think you see LeBron and Steph play? I mean, to be honest, Derek, I'm at 3. I think 3 more years.
Well, Steph signed a new 3-year deal, I believe. I know he got $62 million or whatever, but I think he probably might be able to do that 3 times. Mm-hmm. So I could see Steph quitting after 2027. I think 26, 27, I think is his last year. And I think LeBron's last year is 25, 26. So we're going to say this season coming up and 1 more year for LeBron and this season coming up and 2 more years for Steph. And I think he calls it a day at about 38 years old.
Yeah, I can't see them going past another 3 years, both of them, especially LeBron. I just cannot see it. So real quick before we go to commercial break, Tim wants to know how much is the bonus if you play in Euro basketball tournaments? I have no idea.
Man,
I got cut from my European team.
You can make 6 figures, Tim, for sure. And, you know, a lot of those guys, we just talking about the ones that's making $2 million, $2.5 million. You got guys that have been over there for an eternity that are making big, big dollars. Yeah. And so when you're talking Euro Cup, that's like big time. That's what they live and die on, other than football, I'll call it, soccer. And so those games, European Cup, man, it's kind of like the 49ers and the Raiders when they play as far as the fans.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can make a lot of money, man. Those guys, I'm saying half. Some guys can make $500,000. Remember now, we're still talking tax-free money. So if you can make some of those, 500,000, 300,000, some of those guys make that kind of money.
Yeah, it's some good money. It's some good, what the kids call, Derek, it's some good coin out there in the international play. So when we come back, we're going to talk some WNBA. Also, we're going to break down the NFL power rankings when it comes to quarterbacks. CJ Stroud ranked over Joe Burrow. Are you really going to go that low? Well, possibly. Maybe we can make a case. Who knows? We'll be back here in just a minute. Hall of Fame Derrick Irvin, Rudy Campos Jr.
Are you looking for a contracting company that gets the job done right the first time? Look no further than MCS General Contracting. MCS specializes in top quality concrete work, including patios, driveways, foundations, and swimming pools. The team of experts are dedicated to delivering exceptional results and unparalleled customer satisfaction. At MCS General Contracting, they're not just hardworking, they're local. Based in San Antonio, they are committed to building relationships and trust within the community. That's why MCS guarantees your satisfaction. They pride themselves on getting the job done right the first time, every time. So why wait? Contract MCS General Contracting today to schedule your project and experience the difference for yourself. MCS General Contracting. Building a better San Antonio, one project at a time. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League. Hey guys, are you ready for a flavor explosion? Look no further than La Cocina Taco Truck, serving up the best street tacos and quesadillas in New Braunfels. With a 5-star rating and rave reviews, they're not just a taco truck. They are a taste sensation. La Cocina staff is the best in town and pride themselves on making every customer feel like family. Whether you're feeding a crowd or just satisfying your own cravings, they've got you covered because no order is too big or too small for them there. Louis and his staff are all about customer satisfaction, and they love their community. Don't worry, San Antonio friends. They're just a short trip away to New Braunfels. So why wait? Come visit La Cocina Taco Truck today and taste the difference for yourself. That's La Cocina Taco Truck, where every bite is a fiesta. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League. Spurs fans, are you ready to stay ahead of the game of the San Antonio Spurs with the best coverage in the business? Tune in to Locked On Spurs, the daily podcast that brings you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and all the latest news and updates for your silver and black. Join Jeff Garcia, the most informative and entertaining host in the game, as he breaks down all Spurs news and notes, interviews the biggest names, and keeps you locked into all things Spurs. From Monday to Friday, get ready to start your day with the best Spurs coverage in the business. Don't miss out on the expert opinions, the hot takes, and the can't miss guests. Make sure you're locked in with Locked On Spurs. Subscribe to their YouTube channel now and stay ahead of the game all season long. Locked On Spurs. It's the best Spurs coverage in the business. Don't miss out.
Pops the mastermind, got the team what we need. 5 rings deep, we the dynasty kings. From the Alamo Dome to the banners we.
All right, welcome back to Sweep the League. Rudy Campos Jr., Hall of Famer Derrick Gervin. Shout out to MCS General Contracting, La Cocina Taco Truck, Castro Sun Solar, Special ET. Also, shout out to Locked On Spurs, Jeff Garcia doing a fantastic job out there. Hopefully, I'll be on, I don't know if it's this week or next week, but I should be on here soon with Jeff Garcia. So, nonetheless, man, just a quick reminder, we're going to be coming to you twice tomorrow. You're going to see the rebroadcast tonight of this show at 9 o'clock, but tomorrow we're coming to you at 10 a.m. in the morning for the NFL kickoff preview show, get you guys ready for the entire NFL season. You may want to listen to Derrick more than me and Gio because Derrick's been knocking it out of the park on college football. So Gio and I have been kind of struggling when it comes, especially when it comes to ACC play. We've been struggling big time. So we're going to get you ready tomorrow for all the NFL talk. Then we'll come back to you tomorrow at 9 p.m. So tomorrow at 9 p.m., we're going to talk some more college football, get you ready for week 2 of college football. Massive games. Trey Collins and I talked about it last night. Texas and Michigan. We'll talk a little more about Texas State and UTSA. Those are 2 of the biggest games this weekend. We'll go into a little bit more depth, both of those tomorrow again with Derrick. Maybe even Jared Zeidman. I think I'm going to try to get him on as well. Could be Trey Collins again. We'll see who's going to be on tomorrow. But nonetheless, that's what's going on tomorrow. So this next segment is brought to you by MCS General Contracting and La Cocina Taco Truck. Best street tacos in the business. Short drive to get you satisfied is in New Braunfels. Shout out to Louis and his staff. So WNBA playoffs, I mean, there's roughly, 7 games left in the season?
8,
yeah, so, I'm going to bring up the standings, and hopefully it works because, man, I've been having some issues today, and we're going to see if this works. So standing-wise, now, as we can see, New York it's solidified, but not solidified in the number 1 spot. They've been struggling some there. They're at 27-6. Connecticut is 24-9. Minnesota 24-9. The Aces are 21-12. Now, that's the first 4. Bottom 4, 20-13 Seattle. Indiana Fever, the hottest team in the WNBA right now. I believe, was it just announced? It sure was. Their coach was able to get Coach of the Month for a 501 record. So then you've got the Phoenix Mercury. All 7 teams have clinched the playoff spot already. 1 left. Now, it's crazy. 7 games left, Derrick. And Chicago and Atlanta are in a tie right now. Chicago's got the tiebreaker, so they're at the 8th spot, but the Mystics are only a game out. Dallas is the surprise for me because they can technically get in, as the Sparks technically can get in too. But right now, if I'm looking at the teams, I think Chicago's still keeps that 8th spot. But the one team that I look at that might make a push could be Dallas, because the next 2 games Dallas plays is Atlanta and Chicago. They can make up some ground there by winning both of those games. How do you see this playoff, especially in the 8th position, go for the WNBA?
I think for me that last spot is going to end up to being the Atlanta Dream. I know they lost their game, the last game they played, and gave them opportunity to move into the 8th spot. But I just think the Sky going backwards, and I don't know if they can get that fixed. I know Trinity Carter is supposedly going to play the next game, but it's no guarantee if she's playing tomorrow or Friday or whenever I think it is. It might be Friday. Yeah, I believe it's Friday. But I don't know if she's playing or not. But they need her back. Her offense, her 17 points a game, and just her presence on the floor. And if you look at it, they've lost the last 7. But even when she played, they lost the first 3 games with her. And so the last 4 games have been without her. But I still think they need her because she brings something potent to that offense. And Atlanta Dream are just playing better basketball the last part of the season, and I just think they're going to edge Chicago out.
Yeah, it's very well could be the Atlanta Dream. They are playing fantastic right now. Again, Dallas for me is that one team that I think may sneak up on them. I don't see it happening, but if I had to pick one of those teams outside of the top 8, I like Dallas. But again, you look at Dallas.
Rudy.
Yes, sir.
The reason I don't say Dallas is because when you're looking at a 2-game deficit, if it was like 15 games, I would say I will give them better opportunity.
Yeah.
But if they lose one of these games, then you're 3 games behind one of those teams, and you only have 6 games to make it up. That's why I said that. So it's tough when you're only down 7 games to play.
I got you. I can, and I totally respect that. Definitely. So you're saying Atlanta. I don't know why I think Chicago gets in. It's kind of a toss-up. I just kind of say it's a toss-up. I think Atlanta has a slight edge, but I'm going to go with Chicago getting that 8th spot. Having Camila Condoza and Angel Reese get in there. I mean, to me, it's not like the league's going to fix it and whatever to get them into the WNBA playoffs, but I just have a feeling at the very end that they're going to kind of come together, get into that 8th spot, and it's just going to happen for Chicago. Again, we have no idea what's going to happen. We can't.
All I was saying is for Dallas is what I was talking about, my scenario. I just think it'll be too tough for them. I still get the Mystics a chance because they're only a game behind. But as far as Dallas, I just think they would have to win going like 6-1. To have an opportunity to pass up both those teams. That's all I'm saying. The other teams, it's going to be a dogfight all the way down to the end, and Dallas could still be a part of that. They just have a bigger grind to overcome. It'll be a bigger mountain, I'll say, to overcome. They're still in it, but I just think they have a harder opportunity with only 7 games left.
Yeah, honestly, to be honest, I think it's going to come down to both Chicago and Atlanta. Louis asking who do we think gets the last spot. It's either going to be Chicago or Atlanta. I really feel it's going to be one of those teams. I guess I'm trying to make the case for Dallas, but if there's a couple more games added to the in the season, but I think it's 7 games to be a little bit tougher to go 6-1. Derek, question: will the WNBA go back to East and West divisions the next 2 or 3 years when they add Oakland and Toronto to the league? 2 divisions? I don't know, Derek.
I hope not, Rudy. You know why? I don't even want the NBA to have divisions at this point. I want it to be the best records.
Exactly.
Instead of going back conferences. I think that'll make it even more interesting than it is right now. And I'm the same with the WNBA. They're going to have 14 teams now. But still, I just wanted to be by the best record. And however many, I don't think they're going to add any new teams to the playoffs right away. Maybe they'll try a play-in game. I don't know. But I want to see them play. I just think that makes it better when it's just by the record as opposed to the conferences.
Yeah, I want it to just be one big old conference, man. There's been many years where in the NBA you got like 6 teams that have better records in the West and only like a team or 2 in the East that have a chance to get in. And then you cry that you have people that cry, well, they deserve it. They're in the East Coast, they're in the West Coast. Yeah, well, put it all together. I mean, the better teams should be able to get in. You shouldn't have teams left out.
Hey, Rudy, if they want the best ratings, they should go away from the conferences because if you some of these times you have teams meet up earlier than you would expect wanted them to meet for the ratings. And so if you go by the 12, the best teams, then you usually get those better games in the championship, wouldn't you say? A lot of people weren't too happy to see. We got to be honest about it. But was the last championship a really, really, really big seller? The Celtics versus Dallas, even though they have Luka.
Nah.
Yeah, so sometimes it's best to try to switch it up and see what you can do so you can get these teams playing at a later stage when they all have got into the flow. And then I think that's more exciting than it is right now.
Yeah, I mean that's what I agree with Louis and whoever else is saying it. You know, you got Beck's records get into the playoffs. Just bunch it all together. 32 NBA teams, whatever. Just bunch everybody together. I don't mind it at all. Hell, I'd love it if football did that. That'd be awesome too. Harry, what's up, Harry? How you doing, man? Afternoon. Thank you for joining us here on Sleep League. Again, we're at 615 strong here on the stream right now. Appreciate everybody joining us. Again, just another announcement. We're going to keep announcing it here for a good while. We're going to be joining you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. So be sure to grab your cup of coffee, grab your breakfast sandwich, do whatever you want to do. 10 a.m. we get started. We're going to do an NFL preview show, break down the NFL season as it starts tomorrow. Give you all our picks, predictions, MVPs, just whatever you want to talk. NFL football, we'll be with you for about an hour and 15 minutes or so tomorrow. And then we'll be back live again tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Double duty for Sweep the League. Also tonight, this show will be rebroadcast at 9 o'clock. So I appreciate everybody joining us here. WNBA, you know, it's right around the corner, Derrick. We're talking that the possibilities of, you know, people are talking about the Las Vegas Aces. Can they get back to the WNBA finals? I mean, you see the road in front of you. If it stays the way that it is, they're not starting the playoffs very, very easily against a Seattle Storm team that's very tough. And if they were to get through a Seattle Storm team, New York or Phoenix is waiting for them, which is another tough out for the Las Vegas Aces. There's got to be a massive amount of concern as far as Vegas goes getting back to the WNBA finals. Now, if they go through that gauntlet and get back to the finals, then you almost have to feel good about their chances to win another title.
Well, I think they could. I think they would be able to deal with Seattle, but it wouldn't be easy with Jewel Lloyd and you got Ogwuma K, and you know they got some players, Skylar Diggins. So you got some players over there, and they've been playing good basketball lately. But the Aces I believe they playing better the last 4 games. And if those two teams were to meet, I would take the Aces because the first 2 games with the home court advantage, I would certainly take the Aces. And the Angels, Asia has just been playing. I guess she's going to cement her MVP, and I can understand. So I think she's going to be playing well. They got to get something from Kelsey Plum. Plum has been out. I think she got hurt. It wasn't anything major, but haven't been playing well. And when she played, she looked a little beat up. So they got to get her healthy. Some of these women came straight. They got a little time off. And then they started back playing basketball. It didn't work for everybody. So Plum has to step up, and then they got to get more from Jackie Young. Those ladies are going to have to pick it up a notch, I'll say, and give Asia a little more help. And but I would take them over Seattle, and then they would probably have to end up facing New York. And then we'll talk about that one later. But right now, I would take the Aces over the Storm in a 2 out of 3.
So let me just throw the question out there. What would be a successful WNBA playoff run for Indiana?
Honestly,
Yeah.
Man, look. Okay, right now I got them as the second best team in the league. The Lynx have struggled a little bit. You got the Connecticut Sun have struggled a little bit. You're not getting I'm not gonna say they're not playing well, but you're not getting the same production the last few games from Nafisha Collier and Alyssa Thomas, who have been leading their teams. So maybe it's a little fatigue in there. But right now, Caitlin, the ceiling, the sky is the limit. The sky is the limit. I'm sure they're thinking about winning it all, Rudy. And if you look at the way they've been playing, it's not just Caitlin. Caitlin gets most of the notoriety, but Kelsey Mitchell, I'm telling you, all these ladies have been playing fine. Aaliyah Boston is still playing well, having a good follow-up year to her rookie year. Alexi Hall is playing well. So they've come in sync. Everybody's coming in sync at the right time. Sync is everything. Everybody being like a fist, and they playing better basketball. So hey, we'll see what happens. I think they're thinking championship or it's a failure. Caitlin has never won a ring, Rudy.
Yeah.
And in college, we know she came up short twice.
Yeah.
And what better story would there be for a lot of people if Caitlin Clark was to lift a team that hadn't been in the playoffs in quite a while and to lift them to the championship in her rookie year? What bigger story would be bigger than that?
Nah, there wouldn't be a bigger story. I want to make a quick correction. I've been saying it all show, and I've got to make a correction. It's my fault there. So the Aces wouldn't have to worry about playing the Phoenix Mercury because they would. I was thinking New York was playing Phoenix in that first round. They wouldn't. They would be playing either Chicago or Atlanta. So my mistake on that. So the Indiana Fever. I mean, you're looking at them playing Connecticut, which is a very tough out. Connecticut is a very, very tough out. But if they get through them, obviously, like you mentioned, Minnesota's kind of been struggling a little bit. They would have to play Phoenix. I'd still give the edge over Indiana over Phoenix if they met them somewhere in the playoffs. But I'll be honest, man. If you're looking at the Liberty, the Aces, the Sky, the Storm, they're going to beat each other up in that part of the bracket. So come WNBA Finals, if the Fever get there, I'm not saying it's an easier route. I can truly see that you're more than likely going to have a very good possibility of Caitlin reaching that goal as a WNBA champion. I mean, matching up with New York is a little tough, I think, for Indiana. But if you're looking at other teams, the Aces, I think they can match up with the Aces. Asia Wilson's tough, but in a lot of senses, I had a coach tell me this, and I believed it at one point. I had a coach tell me this one time. It says, I will allow this guy to go off if we stop everybody else. And it seemed to work a majority of the time. What do you got, man?
Who controls the tempo better than Caitlin Clark out of anyone in the league right now?
Nobody.
Okay, so you can't even go by like a scouting report or anything. You have to go by the actual play on the court. Yeah. She seems to be able to control the tempo no matter who they play against. And what are they, 9-2 in the last 11? Yeah. And 7-1 since the All-Star break? Yeah. They just playing on a different level, man. And with her, she knows about possessions. You notice her turnovers have been going down. She's making better decisions, and she's been more aggressive as a scorer as well. She's not just shooting getting the drive off the right hand going to the basket. She's also getting that jump shot going left. So it's just been they've been playing really, really good basketball, and they're kicking the ball into Aaliyah Boston. And if she doesn't score, she distributes. And everybody's getting, I call them rhythm shots. And they're just playing a lot better basketball. They're rebounding the basketball. They're getting hustle plays. And then you got Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell. So that makes them a very dangerous team when you got two people that can get you 60 points on any given night.
Exactly. And that's where I'm saying that if you get Indiana into the WNBA finals, they make it there, they're pretty damn dangerous, man. I mean, Caitlin has grown. It's weird. Everybody's so, are so focused on rookie of the year race and this and that a lot of times people fail to see the growth of a player right in front of you. I mean, Indiana Fever, not necessarily, I'm not going to say any team is a laughingstock, but nobody had hopes for them at the beginning of the season. It was all focused on Caitlin. Players were kind of like, Everybody's bought in. Everybody has bought in, especially on Indiana.
No team, sir. No team wants to see them right now. No team in the WNBA wants to see them in a 3-game series right now with Caitlin Clark running the ship like she's doing. Makes them a very formidable team against any team in the league. They're on the roll right now. And now just think, if they get more production offensively from Alyssa Smith, she's been struggling about the last month as far as her offense, but she's continued to play hard. So if they can get her and get on all cylinders, I mean, they're dangerous against any team in the league. That includes the New York Liberty or the LA or the Las Vegas Aces.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I'm not disagreeing with that at all because they are the hottest team in the league right now. Definitely, Louisville D put CC in the league MVP race 100%. Man, Derek's made the case for it. And what's weird is Stephen A. Smith he's been copying or whatever. He's been watching our show, Derek, because you've been saying it for a while that Caitlin Clark does deserve MVP consideration now. She's already pretty much wrapped up, if not pretty much.
I got a second, Rudy.
You've got her second behind Asia.
I sure do. I got Asia first. I don't think she has enough time to pass Asia up. But right behind her, I got I think Caitlin's passed up Nafisha Collier, Brianna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, Alyssa Thomas. I think she's passed all of them. And I think she's going to maintain that lead for second place, and that will be a fantastic story. I think she's the Rookie of the Year clearly now, and I can see her being second in the MVP race.
I will say yes, and I will say this much. Again, 7 games left in the season. I'm just throwing it out there. If it sticks, it sticks. We'll see if it sticks on there. But, I mean, they are 3 out from the 5th seed. They are 4 back from the 4th seed. I'm not saying they get to 4. The possibilities of maybe getting to 5, they could be there. I think if they finish extremely strong, and Vegas has a couple of hiccups here and there, because remember, Vegas can go down to the 5th seed, potentially. They're only a game up on Seattle. I think if you see them struggle, Caitlin gets more of the votes.
You know what makes Caitlin them so tough, and so it could go down to the Aces struggling down the stretch. I think they're playing better basketball now, and if they get a little more production from Chelsea Gray, they're still going to be a formidable team as far as winning it all. But with Caitlin and those ladies, man, the unknown. We don't know how even if they have reached their ceiling yet. They continue to get better, and it's been a grind. If you look at it, at one time, it was like who's going to have the best record, the Sky or the Fever.
Yeah.
All that's been erased, and they continue to play well. And then Caitlin looks like she's you can see the improvement since the the Olympic break. It just looks like she needs to just be refreshed and get a breather and get a chance to rest since she came straight from college. And it looks like she's just scratching the surface, I hate to say. The last, several games, she's been like 24 and like 9 assists and Rudy, be honest. Didn't I tell you at one time I thought she was stat padding? I didn't think it. I told you, remember, she was stat padding her rebounds early.
I remember that.
You looked at her rebound average now. Isn't it in that 5 or 6 area?
Yeah.
And you notice with her not running in the paint like she was doing, their play on both ends has picked up. You can see more of a team, a unit.
Yeah.
Because you got to have everyone. This is where Luka hurts Dallas a lot, isn't it? Yeah. He's back there whining to the referees after falling on the floor shooting a 3, and instead of getting back on defense, he's chirping to the referees. And that filters down to the other guys, man. You don't have time for that. And I think Caitlin's figured it out. If you look at Caitlin, even her attitude now, when she questions the refs, she does it diplomatically. She knows she needs 2 more technicals, and she would be suspended, right? So you can see the maturity overall, and it's showing in her play. So even if they were to meet the Aces or whoever it is, say next week, if they had to play the Aces or 50, Rudy.
Yeah, no, I know. You're right about all that, man. You're definitely right about all that. They're a scary, scary team when it comes to the Indiana Fever. Before we go to commercial break real quick, Jefferson here, has Clark gone through what Wemby went through in his rookie season? I'm going to leave that for you.
Well, more. She's gone through more because the scrutiny of, I'm going to be honest, you got some people are not too happy with Caitlin. They support Angel. I'll just go say it like that. And you got some people that don't support Angel, they support Caitlyn for whatever the reasons may be. So that's more notoriety. We expected Victor to come in and be basically the head and shoulders the best rookie, and then of course you had Chet Holmgren. But in this case, Caitlyn is wherever she's traveling, and then she got a $20 million Nike deal. So when you look at that, this is money that's unprecedented for the women, and that's a lot of pressure on her. But it's giving her family now some financial security. We hear about her and her boyfriend a lot, and but you just see her; she does a lot in the community already. And so, yeah, for me, it's more pressure on her than it was for Victor Wembanyama.
There you go. Thanks for the question, Jeff. Definitely are getting to that as well. When we come back, we're going to end the show with some NFL talk. We're going to go over the quarterback rankings, the NFL quarterback index rankings for week 1, and, well, I guess maybe the season as well, how they feel. We're going to check that out here when we come back. On Sweep the League, it's Hall of Famer Derrick Irvin, Rudy Campos Jr. We'll end this show on a bang here. I promise you on that. We'll be back.
Howdy from Texas. You've got to be tired of the sizzling electric bills in the Texas heat, right? Well, partner, we've got the solution for you. Introducing Castro & Son Solar, harnessing the power of the sun to save you some serious cash. Their top-notch solar panels will have you soaking up the savings in no time. Imagine lower electric bills, a reduced carbon footprint, and the satisfaction of going green. Their expert team will take care of everything from installation to maintenance. We're talking hassle-free, worry-free, and stress-free solar solutions. So why wait? Join the solar revolution with Castro & Son Solar. Let the Texas sun shine bright and your savings shine even brighter. Castro & Son Solar, empowering your home one sunbeam at a time. Call them today and let's get this solar party started. Can you imagine a world where nature meets wellness, where every sip you take nourishes your body and soul? Introducing Special Leaf Tea, a line of 100% natural, ready-to-drink iced teas crafted to boost your immunity and energy. With 4 unique flavors to choose from, as in hibiscus blueberry, tangerine ginger, pomegranate blueberry, or the original, you can indulge in the perfect blend of taste and nutrition. Their teas are carefully crafted with 2 times the antioxidants and no added sugar. They're known to help with blood pressure, hypertension, type 2 diabetes, cholesterol, weight management, and even provide natural energy without caffeine. Join the movement towards natural wellness. Order now at www.specialleaf.com and start sipping your way to a healthier, happier you. Special Leaf Tea. Nature in every sip. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League.
Yeah, this for the family. Loyalty, respect, honor. You know what it is. STL Music. Let's get it. We the ones, never folded on ourselves, no bluffing. Legacy we building, man, this ain't up for discussion. They wanted us to quit, but we dug in deep. Motivated to the fullest, dreams ain't meant for sleep. On the grind 24/7, no time for rest. We making moves, calculated like a master.
Hall of Famer Derrick Irvin, Rudy Campos Jr. back. And again, the album Family dropping October 1st, 2024. Be sure to get it. We're going to be posting it left and right here, show you how to get it. We'll see if we can give away some free copies of it or something like that. But STL Music is here, and the first album is coming out. It's called Family. It's going to be released October 1st. 2024. You can get all the music, all the songs, everything, including, I believe, the Wemby song is on there. So we've got it all ready to come out October 1st, 2024. This last segment is brought to you by MCS General Contracting, Special Leaf Tea, Castro & Son Solar, La Cocina Taco Truck, all proud sponsors of Sweep the League. And it's NFL talk, Derrick. Now, I'm going to save this for Tim because he was impressed with Cam Ward against Florida. We're going to save the Miami talk for tomorrow, Tim, because we want to get into this NFL talk. But yeah, Cam Ward, one of my top 3 Heisman candidates into the season. So definitely he sees it right there. He's definitely there. So let's get into some, again, hopefully this works because, like I said, I hadn't been working in a while earlier today. So share the screen here. And we have, now this is for week 1, ranking the starters entering 2024 season. This is the quarterback ranking. So no surprise, Patrick Mahomes is there at number 1. No surprise there. You don't bet against Mahomes. Lamar, 2, MVP, multi-time MVP candidate, MVP winner. So, I mean, go ahead.
And before you get into the quarterbacks, I got a question. Does ball security matter? Where do you rank ball security?
Where do I rank ball security? I would say pretty damn high because the quarterback has the ball every time, at least on the offensive side.
Well, that's why I wanted you to show these rankings, because if you look right now, I'm a Josh Allen fan, right?
Yeah.
And I love my Bills, but if you look at it, I believe Josh had you talking about ball security. Mahomes had 14 interceptions and 5 fumbles, and then you look at Lamar had 7 interceptions, 11 fumbles. So you turn the ball over 18 times. And then you look at Josh, who's rated number 3, and you're looking at 18 interceptions and 7 fumbles. So right away I asked, is that going into the new year? Is that what you want from your quarterback? Is that a number 3 rated quarterback in the NFL?
No. I mean, it's all about ball security. I mean, that's what you mentioned. It's all about ball security. I mean, you can tell last year's stats, 7 fumbles, 18 interceptions for Josh Allen, 7 interceptions, 11 fumbles for Lamar Jackson. I mean, both of those guys right out the bat pretty much are identical when it comes to turning the ball over, as to where Mahomes is at 19 total turnovers last year, 14 interceptions, 5 fumbles. But I guess to be elite, you've got to be able to have mistakes, I guess. CJ Stroud is number 4 ahead of Joe Burrow. Now, I know it kind of upset you a little to see Joe Burrow there at 5 and CJ ahead of him, but CJ.
I don't know if it hurt me, Rudy. I was surprised they rated him over. The reason that doesn't bother me is because Burrow, we still got to see if he's going to continue to be healthy. I don't even know if 5 is valid. If you're really going by Burrow, he played like 10 games last year.
10 games last year.
So we got to hope he can even stay healthy. So I don't know if that's disrespecting some of those other guys that are under him, because there's a big question mark on Joe Burrow, probably more than anybody in the top 7 or 8 quarterbacks.
You're right. I honestly, Burrow at 5 I'm okay with. I mean, CJ Stroud at 4, you can flip flop him. I think they're going off of last year at 10 games being played by Burrow, and I totally get it. He couldn't stay healthy. He got injured. He didn't get a whole full season in, so I totally understand that. Now, do I think Burrow comes out this year in a blaze of glory? I don't know. I'm not sure. He's already probably going to start the season without Jamar Chase. As of right now, Jamar Chase isn't playing week 1. And here we are, week 1 is this weekend. So the guy really hasn't practiced, nothing like that. So I doubt we see Jamar Chase this weekend. I really don't. But that's not a very good start for Joe Burrow to the season. That's for damn sure. Now, they are playing, I believe, New England the first week, which it's kind of a help right there. I mean, New England's not one of the better teams in the league, so it does kind of maybe help a little, but you don't want to see Joe Burrow get off to a terrible start. But CJ Stroud over Burrow. Then you have the man, the mystery here, the whole mystery package of Dak Prescott. 10 turnovers last year, 9 interceptions, 4 fumbles. But again, the disrespect. I think I would. This is me personally. I'm not a Cowboy fan. Please, I'm not a Cowboy fan. But I think Dak is top 5 going into the season. I don't know where he fits in at 6. I mean, 6 is okay. You're knocking on 5 on the top 5, but the guy needs to be in the top 5.
So you're taking Burrow out.
So where are you putting Dak? At 4 or 5?
I gotta put him on 5, I maybe even 4, and C.J. Stroud goes number 5 because we saw C.J. have a good year, but as you know, Rudy, the following year, sometimes young people get the hiccups the next year. So so C.J. is a question mark as well. Dak has proven what he's about. Dak is one of the best quarterbacks in the league until January comes. That's been his shortcomings have been come playoff time. But during the regular season, if you're ranking them going into the season, I gotta have Dak over Joe Burrow and C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, I would put Dak at 4. Dak would be at 4,
He was
CJ
second.
at 5.
Rudy, he was second in MVP voting.
And again, and that's why I'm like, what in the hell? It's kind of like this. He's got CD back. They re-signed CD Lamb, so you can't tell me he doesn't have CD back.
He could be over Josh Allen. Josh got 25 turnovers.
You're right. And we can make the case that Dak has a better receiver than what Josh has to work with right now.
Dak had 13 turnovers, Rudy. You're talking about a spectacular year that led him to being the second best player in the NFL. And, I like Josh and I like these guys, CJ, but CJ hasn't proven enough. And Burrow, we still got the injury issue. Is he going to be healthy or not? So Dak, he's already put his money where his mouth is. So you have to give a man his respect for that reason alone.
Yeah, I've got him at 4. I would put CJ at 5 if need be, but I think more so ever, me, Derek, I always say I've got to see year 2. I got to see what happens in year 2. You've got most quarterbacks who start off strong in a rookie year, or they get their first year of playing. You tend to give the defensive coordinators a whole year worth of game film. They can better prepare for you. I want to see how CJ does this second year. Not saying he's going to have a drop off, but I mean, last year was amazing for CJ Stroud.
Hey, Rudy, how you think Jalen Hurts feels being rated number 10 and Aaron Rodgers is rated number 7?
I know, and that's what I was going to mention. Jordan Love had a great year last year, but again, it was 1 year. Aaron Rodgers had a great. Oh, wait a minute. He didn't have a great. He had 1 game and he did nothing. What was it, like the first or second play of the season? He was out, gone for the year. So they're basing this off of what their teams look like this season, I think. And that kind of ticks me off because Hurts' team didn't get any worse other than the offensive line, but they actually improved when it came to running back. So why would you have Jalen Hurts at number 10 behind Jordan Love, which again, it was 1 season, behind Aaron Rodgers, where it was literally a minute into the season? Justin Herbert, I will say, okay. Justin's been pretty consistent every single year. Him in the top 10, you've got me there. I'll give him that. Even though he lost his receiver, Keenan Allen, he's lost Austin Eckler, stuff like that, he gained Jim Harbaugh. I give him credit. He's going to have a pretty decent year. But Hurts that low, man. It hurts so good, doesn't it?
But even on Jordan Love, how you think Jordan Love feels? Don't you think he feels like, oh, boy, here we go again? Yeah. He's rated behind Aaron Rodgers, who didn't even play but 1 or 2 plays. And Jordan Love had his production that he had last year. And once again, he's playing back up to Aaron Rodgers.
I agree. I mean, that's the thing. I'm not disagreeing because Aaron Rodgers in the top 10, it's based off of what he's going to do this year, not what he did last year. And that's what I don't get. If you're going to base it off what players are going to do this year, then I think Dak needs to be higher. 100% needs to be higher. Then you've also got a guy like Josh Allen at 3 who should be lower. I mean, there's nothing that screams that Josh Allen is going to have the type of year that he has been having the past couple of years. So that's where I don't know how these rankings came out. It's like you're ranking players off of what they did last year. What do you feel about them? What they're going to do this year? I have no idea. If that's the case, like I said, Justin Herbert, maybe it's a little lower. I don't know. Based off of what it is, Jared Goff has the exact same team coming back. A Lions team that was literally Super Bowl bound, if not for a screwed up call by the refs in that San Francisco game. We're not going to get back into that, but if they make the right call, the Lions are Super Bowl bound. And Jared Goff needs to be up there.
Yeah, and I can't disagree. But my biggest thing with the Lions was if we catch the damn ball.
Well, okay, you can go to that route too. Yeah, you can go that part too.
We had a lot. We had a lot of wide open drops at the wrong. Even when we were leading the game, those drop passes seemed to give the 49ers some energy. And we dropped a lot of balls, man. We should have won that game. We were dominating in the first half, and then it's like we just took our foot off the gas pedal, and we came back. And I'm gonna give the other team credit, but man, we coughed that game up, man. I was sick for a week, man.
I know you and rest of Detroit and even our producer Shemai is a little sick over that game, but Jared Goff, again, if you're basing off of what is going on this upcoming season, Jared Goff is a top 10 quarterback easily.
11, yeah. Well, I put him over Justin Herbert and maybe even Jalen Hurts at this point.
I would put him over Herbert. I would put him over Rodgers. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. Well, Aaron shouldn't even be in the top 10 if you really want to be honest about it. He's a lot of question marks still, so we don't know how they're going to play. We saw him just for a brief moment in the preseason, so I don't know. It's like disrespect to some of those other guys who have actually been playing, even the Matthew Staffords and the Baker Mayfields. Until Aaron proves something, I don't think he should rate over a lot of these guys. Kirk Cousins.
Tua, I'm fine with Tua where he's at 12. Kind of not necessarily middle of the pack, but he's better than average. I just think he doesn't come through in a whole lot of situations. Brock Purdy at 13, you always get the game manager kind of talk and all that stuff. He's just there. He's an system quarterback, yada yada yada. I mean, the guy got his team back to the Super Bowl. I mean, 13. I'm going to say 13 for me at Brock Purdy is fine. I'm okay with
Rudy, he was in the, if you remember, up until maybe the last week or two, wasn't he in the MVP voting?
Yeah, he was.
So is 13 giving him his just due, or you say that's fine? That's okay right there.
Yeah, like I said, 13 for me is perfect for Brock Purdy. I'll leave him there. There's no doubt about that. Let's go to the rest of the list. Matthew Stafford at 14, I'm okay with. Baker had a really good year last year in terms of the way he's always been playing. 15, okay. I mean, Kirk Cousins, you don't have Justin Jefferson this year, so I don't know if 16 is a good ranking for him. Trevor Lawrence is there. I don't see really much to talk about. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
You don't remember that? You like that? You remember when he walked off the field after they won it? Yeah. You're going to bring that Kirk Cousins back out, huh?
It's either that or we're getting the gold chain Kirk Cousins in Atlanta. And that's, I don't know which Kirk Cousins I prefer. I don't know if I prefer gangster Kirk Cousins.
I'll tell you what I don't like, Rudy. What I don't like last year that I'm looking at, he only played 8 games and he turned the ball over 12 times. Yeah. 5 interceptions, 7 fumbles. I don't like that. Going into the new year, but as you know, they rewarded him with $45 million a year, so maybe they see something we don't see.
Why are you reminding me? And then they go out and draft Michael Penix. You either go get Penix and let him play, or you pay Cousins. But it is what it is. It's the offseason, man. We can't go back on that. Trevor Lawrence and Gio's boy, Kyler Murray, number 18. Again, Kyler could have a really decent year. I don't see him going maybe as far as 13 at the end of the rankings. I mean, he's a middle of the pack guy for me. Geno Smith at 19, Derek Carr at 20. I really feel that Derek Carr, I really truly feel Spencer Rattler will be the starting quarterback not halfway, but at some point during the season. Derek Carr is a great quarterback. He's good to get you where you need to go, but I just really feel that Spencer Rattler is going to be the starter coming up soon, pretty quick.
So you don't see a very good year then for the Saints? Is that what you're saying? Or is Spencer going to be the guy that saves the bell, saves the day for him?
That's a good question. I think if Spencer plays a little earlier, I'm a little more worried about the Saints as being a good team. Like, in other words, they have more of a shot. They've got an opportunity with Derek Carr, but I have them as the 3rd best team in that division right now. I have Atlanta. I have the Buccaneers. I have the Saints, I have the Panthers, and I'm not even trying to disrespect the Panthers. I think the Panthers are a better team in some aspects of the field than what they have been, but I don't think they're there just quite yet. But yeah, I think if Spencer Rattler plays, I love Spencer Rattler. So I think he would probably help the Saints a lot more than hurt them. Anthony Richardson is in here at 21. Will Levis, 22. You have a lot of the younger guys. Well, not younger now. Jacoby Brissett, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson. I think he has a better year than most people give him credit for. You know, he's going to have
Man,
Cleveland.
Rudy,
What's up, man? What's up?
Is that good for what? So right now we got 32 teams, right?
Yeah.
You had no problem. What about Russell Wilson? Because didn't Russell have a pretty good year statistic-wise last year, stat-wise?
He had 15 games, 3,000 yards passing, 26 touchdown passes, 18 total turnovers, 3 rushing touchdowns. I mean, not great year, but I mean,
he didn't play bad.
Yeah, he didn't play bad. He didn't play bad at all.
So I'm just saying, with him ranked right above, one spot ahead of Deshaun Watson, I'm just trying to figure out, man, is he in the middle of the pack more like an 18, 19 than he is closer to the bottom of the pack at 24?
I'm going to say, for argument's sakes, I think I wouldn't put him past 21, 22. I didn't see that much of an improvement last year.
Below Anthony Richardson and Derek Carr.
Below Derek Carr, ahead of Anthony Richardson is what I'll say. I'll say that. Fairly, I will say that. Because we still haven't got a whole lot of Anthony Richardson last year. I mean, he got injured. So he's basing it off of, you know, talent and skill set and all, which I don't think Anthony Richardson's going to be that kind of barn burner type of player. Gardner Minshew is at 26. Sam Darnold at 27, and then you've got the savior Caleb Williams at 28. Gio's mad, but he's ranked ahead of my guy Bo Nix. You know, so I mean,
28.
That speaks a lot of volumes, right? What they really feel about.
Well,
Caleb Williams.
I'm saying 28. I'm saying I bet you Caleb doesn't feel he's anywhere near the 28th best quarterback in the league, and then especially when you look at what guys like C.J. Stroud did last year, I think Caleb is going to have a lot of motivation this year. And I don't believe going into the new year, I think he's higher than the 28th best quarterback out of 32 guys. Well, we'll see. It remains to be seen, but I'm sure he's seen this ranking or at least heard about it.
He might be just a little mad there, just a little mad. I mean, he's not going to go crying into the stands like he did. No, we're not going to bring that up. We're not going to bring that up. He's not going to do that. He's an NFL player now. Bo Nix at 29. I actually think Bo Nix is probably going to be your offensive rookie of the year. I'm just going to say that now. That's a little preview. I'm going to say that.
So the rookie that says Caleb Williams. That's more motivation for Caleb right there.
But Caleb doesn't listen to me. I mean, apparently not. If he does, then you know what? Motivate. Hey, Louis is a big Bears fan, so definitely want to motivate him. Jaden Daniels at number 30, which I kind of find a little low at Jaden Daniels. I kind of would have put him above Caleb and above Bo Nix, to be honest with you. I mean, I would probably even put him above Jacoby Brissett. Maybe even Sam Darnold.
His skill set is high. I believe it's going to translate over to the NFL. So, him and Caleb Williams being that low is a surprise to me. But this is just one person's ranking, their opinion.
Yeah, and I can put 5 guys under Jaden Daniels easily. I can put him ahead of 5 guys. Rounding out the whole list is Bryce Young, who had a very tough year last year. Maybe he'll be able to right the ship. And number 32, the boy that keeps making his way onto Sweep the League, the Duke Blue Devils' own Daniel Jones at number 32. Well, the positive side is Daniel Jones had some of the least amount of turnovers in the league at only 10 total in 6 games. We're going to give him some kind of prop there, but the other good positive side for Daniel Jones, Derek, is you can't get any lower than 32 when you're a starting quarterback. So there's nothing
Yeah.
but up for Daniel Jones.
You can't have 10 turnovers in 6 games, and have a team take you serious in the locker room. And that's not, if you look at the stats, 5 yards of pass attempt, 5.7 yards. That's not good in 6 games. And he only had 2 passing TDs. Of course, we know that's not good at all. So
Yeah.
hopefully they get Daniel a little help this year on the offensive line and as far as the guys catching the ball. But being right, he does have motivation. He's ranked as the lowest rated quarterback in the NFL at this time.
Yeah, we're getting Tim in here. Where's Daniel Jones, Rudy? He's at the bottom, like the Duke Blue Devils, Tim. He's at the bottom. We're going to leave it at that. Daniel Jones, number 32. That's your boy, Rudy. Yeah, see, that was my boy in the draft class between him and Kyler. We're always going to have that debate. Who's the better player? Now, both guys are in the bottom. Well, I mean, Daniel's obviously in the bottom. Kyler is Kyler, so we'll see with that. And there's worse. He can get cut. He could get cut. I don't think they cut him this year, but let's say
$40
this is
million.
probably, yeah, let's say this is Daniel Jones's probably his last year. Unless they go on a massive playoff run, there's not going to be any more Daniel Jones after this. Cowboy fans, hopefully you sign Dak Prescott, because if not, imagine Dak Prescott in a Giants jersey. Holy,
That could that could happen, man. You've heard the whispers already, so
yeah.
we know a lot of times where there's smoke, there's fire. But maybe the Cowboys will come out and have a very nice season, better than Gio. That thinks they're going to win maybe 7 or 8 games. I think they're going to win double figures, but a lot will be determined this season for Dak and for Mike McCarthy.
Oh, 100%. And you know what? That transitions us here to the end of the show. Just a reminder, guys, a big reminder. This show is going to be rebroadcast tonight at 9 o'clock. But tomorrow, we're going to be joining you guys at 10 a.m. in the morning. We're going to go live. We're going to do our NFL preview show tomorrow. It's going to be about an hour and 15 minutes. So be sure to join us at 10 o'clock in the morning. And then tomorrow evening at 9 o'clock, we're going live again. It's double duty for Sweep the League tomorrow. So be on your best listening behavior, guys, because we're going to give you all the tools you need for your fantasy guys going into the season. We're going to be talking about the predictions, MVPs, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Shout out to who I mentioned, Bo Nix. We're just going to talk about everybody.
Number one.
Who's
going to be number one? I
who's
can't
gonna
wait.
Be,
you know,
yeah. Who's going to be the last team standing? Now, again, it's all barring injuries. But I will say that my little preview is my last team standing is a character in The Wizard of Oz. I will say that much. One of the characters that's off to see the wizard. Now, there's no Dorothy, there's no Tin Man, there's no Scarecrow in the league. There definitely is no Toto. So at least one character left. And that's kind of my prediction still. And I haven't changed it. So that's going to be mine going into tomorrow, Derek.
Hey, Rudy, is it really teams that sometimes, you have to factor in when you're building a team, don't you think you have to factor in injuries? So you have to make sure your guys that are not your core players, the reserves, are some top-notch players so you continue so the ship can keep sailing. If you were to run into a big injury or two like the 49ers did with McCaffrey, don't you have to have your team prepared for those kind of situations, those scenarios?
Absolutely, man. You've got to be able to prepare them for that. It's a must. And that's what we're going to look at tomorrow. We're going to go through division by division, see which teams are there. Some of these guys are injury prone. I understand why Atlanta got Michael Penix, after a while thinking about it. There were better options, but you can't trust Kirk Cousins staying healthy. So you may as well get a quarterback that you can at least attempt to trust. Even though it's a rookie, you're going to at least attempt to trust Michael Penix there. There's going to be a lot of factors. I mean, there's a reason why the Indianapolis Colts went out and got Joe Flacco, because you saw Anthony Richardson get healthy, and you saw what Joe did last year.
Insurance.
Yeah. So, and Joe Flacco, MVP quarterback. So, again, you go out and get insurance. But we've got NFL coverage tomorrow at 10 a.m. We're going to be bringing you that show. Also, like I said, 9 p.m. tomorrow. This show will be rebroadcast tonight at 9 p.m. So, oh man, we're gonna end this show right here. We went over a little bit over, but no worries on that. For Hall of Famer Derek Irvin, Rudy Campos Jr., until we see you in the morning, guys, for our NFL preview show, y'all guys take care. We'll see you tomorrow.
Everybody have a good afternoon, good evening.
Yeah, this for the family. Loyalty, respect, honor. You know what it is. STL music. Let's get it. We the ones, never folded on ourselves, no bluffing. Legacy we building, man, this ain't up for discussion. They wanted us to quit, but we dug in deep. Motivated to the fullest, dreams ain't meant for sleep. On the grind 24/7, no time for rest. We making moves, calculated like a master chess.
Son, you gotta keep your eyes open. Coach, got a proposition for you. Make a run, the Little League World Series. I manage the worst team in the league. Not bad, right? Welcome to Williamsport, boys.
Just a game, Bobby.
It's more than that.
Shemaya, you did it.
Wendy, the king is crowned. Wendy, king is crowned. Future of the league, and he's wearing it proud. We playing just, he's playing checkers, no contest. Wendy's got the game on lock, and he's making a statement. I'm talking about Wemby, the next in line. Future of the